come to you from downtown Los Angeles. I'm Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. Jay, the stars always come out to see greatness here in L.A.
From the bright lights of Hollywood to the bright lights on the hardwood, the Staples Center is rocking tonight.
Showtime always in this building, and we are ready to go. The opening tip corralled by the Lakers, and we're underway in downtown Los Angeles. That's out. Last touch by Tristan Thompson. James. Jay, the Lakers, not just a great franchise, but they are a brand in the NBA. With LeBron James, what do you make of Laker fans accepting him maybe now or down the road as one of their own?
They better accept him now. I agree wholeheartedly with Jeannie Buss when she said they're not Laker fans if they're not happy about LeBron James. He is a Laker, and this is one of the most loyal fan bases we have, not just in this country, but in the entire world. The most Twitter followers of all the teams in the NBA.
Cashes in for two.
Ooh, he teased me a little bit right there. But see, I like that. That's called a great entertainer. Always leaving me on the edge of my seat.
Sexton. JaVale McGee snatching it out of the air. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Cavaliers. James. Gets it to go down.
As a team, when you establish your dominance in the paint early, it's critical to your offense because it eventually opens up the perimeter down the stretch.
Sexton. Tristan Thompson with the slam.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Rondo to the basket, but he can't finish.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short on the shot.
LeBron James rejects it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
And scores.
Not always the first option, but his number was definitely called on that one.
Ball in possession of Cleveland. JaVale McGee, huge block. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Kyle Kuzma. Nance to Colin Sexton. Great pass to set it up. Count the basket at the rim.
Ed, I'm telling you that every player in the league will make that shot. The defense has to be elevated.
Here's Rondo with it. He'll run the offense. Short jumper stays out.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Good shot.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was the look of a three-point play. You always going in thinking you can get more at the rim.
Takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Short jumper off the mark. To Kyle Kuzma. Nothing going here on that drive. Deep left corner. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
JaVale McGee at the line for a chance at a three-point play. History not on his side. 58% from the line. And And he misses that one free throw. Look out, Larry Nance Jr.
Tie ball game so far. Neither one of these teams really able to pull ahead. Might be time to put the bench players in the game, and let's see who could differentiate themselves.
Kuzma. Deep right corner to James. That pass stolen by the Cavs.
Pick up that sense of urgency. Here's a chance to break the tie.
And scores on a nifty dance to the basket.
Well, you know what the old saying is, when you assume you make a... You know what I'm talking about. You can't fault the D too much there. I was expecting to kick out 3.
Now ready to shoot at the line.
Yo, Ed, how's that saying go? Fool me once, you used up the free pass. You know how they're calling this one. Ease up on the aggressive plays on the ball.
Misses the first. Missed the second one as well. Another chance. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
An easy 2. Get back on defense.
It's James controlling the offense. Kuzma. Cavaliers get possession. Gets it in the right corner. Wide open look, won't go.
And as a shooter, this is when you start to second-guess your shot. You had 3 wide-open shots that you just can't put through the net, but still, keep hunting your shot.
LeBron James, 2 for 2. That's what you want.
The defense is doing such a good job of denying him the ball and really getting in his pocket, but he got that one to go.
Oh, nice find for the basket. Through 1, it's the visiting Cavaliers out on top. Jay and I return to the City of Angels after this. You're watching the NBA on EA Sports. First quarter down as we get ready to start the second. Boy, you talk about offensive efficiency. It was really high.
Yeah, I got to hedge the bet because I got to talk to the defense right now. You have to actually play defense on people to stop people in this league.
They've got it in the open floor. JaVale McGee. Baseline drive to Kyle Kuzma. And now he's going to shoot a few more as he's fouled going up for it.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Kyle Kuzma at the line for 2 shots. A career 70% free throw shooter. First try at the line, no good. Good bounce back. Hits the second. It's a 1 of 2 trip. Sexton. Oh, and it's Kuzma able to clear the rebound. Jay, Magic and Kobe each won 5 titles. How are you going to judge LeBron James' legacy in L.A.?
LeBron James wins 1 championship in L.A. That means he will set himself apart. He will have won 4 championships in 3 different cities. Now, that is polarizing for some fans. That still does not take away from the overall greatness and the legacy of LeBron James.
Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Cavs at the controls. Driving right to the basket. Straight down the middle of the lane. Way to punch it home.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Proud City.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Whoops, that won't go. Caldwell Pope to Stevenson. Pass stolen by the Cavs.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
And they called the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Matthew Dellavedova, couple of free throws. First one, counted. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. To Kyle Kuzma. Now pass taken away by Cleveland. JaVale McGee sends it away. That's his 3rd block this evening.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Count the bucket for 2.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
To Stevenson. From the outside, no good.
See, when good shooters catch, they just shoot. When bad shooters catch, they become hesitant, reluctant. That's the first sign of a guy that doesn't have confidence.
To Caldwell Pope. Kentavious Caldwell Pope. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
To Clarkson. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
New blood coming in for both sides. Jordan Clarkson trying to cash in on a 3-point play. For his career, 80% at the line. 1 free throw counted. It's a 3-point play, and the lead up to 8. Down low for Kuzma. Perfect feed to set up the basket. Now the Cavs going to signal for timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the 2nd quarter. We have both squads set to make some moves right now.
Number 20, Brandon Knight. Into the game for the Lakers. Number 9, Rajon Rondo.
Nance. fires the three.
And he burns them. Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
Now ready for a couple of free throws.
There's a very fine line between maximum effort and carelessness. I'm willing to live with a few mistakes and maximal effort than having to constantly remind my players to close out.
Reggie Bullock has got 2 shots coming. For his career, 79% at the line. Knocks down the first. Two for 2 on that trip. Cleveland has the basketball. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
Again, Ed, if you made it to this level, you're capable of doing things that normal humans could never do, even if you're not known for it.
That's off the side of the rim, short. Stuffs it down with authority. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. I'm talking about, Ed, it's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Nance. And the rebound comes.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Has a look. Gets a shot up off the mark.
If I'm the player that just missed that shot, just because you're open doesn't mean you need to shoot. You can put the ball down on the ground and drive to the rim.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots. That's the end of the quarter. The Cavaliers with the lead.
Time for the Rose Report at halftime, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. The Cavaliers entered the locker room with a comfortable lead. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. Have a look at the leading scores for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Lakers are down at halftime and in need of some momentum. Of course, they still have 2 quarters to turn things around, but it won't happen without making some adjustments. Have a look at the leading scores for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Game track. Steals.
The Los Angeles Lakers have already given up a number of steals in this game, and that's indicative of a careless attitude. That must be corrected immediately if they want to have a chance to win this game. The lack of ball control was apparent in the opening quarter.
Player of the half.
Thompson has been making the competition look silly on the defensive end.
Cold.
Rajon Rondo couldn't buy a shot in the first half, even if he had the money. I'm sure he'd like to redeem himself in the second half. But the way things have been going thus far, it's hard to believe it's going to happen for him. Top plays, and we've got 3 of them for you.
Number 2. Number 1.
our halftime report. Thanks for joining us, and see you again after the game.
To the rim, lays it up and in.
And it's so deflating for the defense when you pick up right exactly where you left off at halftime. That's the kind of energy you need.
Cavaliers with the basketball. Short jumper won't fall.
And it's never a great thing when you're talking to yourself the entire next possession about the shot you just missed. Now you know you're in that player's head mentally.
LeBron James, very efficient and making an impact. He's 3 for 3.
And the defense keeps sticking to those flare screens. Just don't flare out to the three-point line. Flare to the rim for a lob.
A drive to the basket, but the shot rattles around and out. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Has a chance, knocks it down from mid-range.
The reality is no one can guard a player at his level one-on-one. The help defense needs to be shown, and he needs to see a series of obstacles instead of just one individual.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. It's no good. Shot's not going down. Screen coming, and a whistle.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 1.
Count it.
For a smaller player, you have to be more creative with your imagination when you finish with those shots around the rim. For the audience, that may look difficult, but for the player himself, that's what they practice every single day.
Knight into the front court. The lead stands at 9. Kyle Kuzma sends it away.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Kuzma. And he's fouled, and he earns a trip to the line.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Lays it up and in.
There you go. I like seeing scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
Sexton. It was right there.
It's because he took his eye off his target, Ed. As an offensive player, you have to glare at where the defender's coming to, but quickly redirect yourself to your actual target. He was more consumed with the defender than he was the actual rim.
Sexton. Shot from the lane won't go. To Kyle Kuzma. James. He gets it.
The defense needs to be in more of a stance and react better. A player with that kind of NBA talent level will get to the rim every time with moves like that.
Sexton. Drive on the baseline, but his shot stays out. To Kyle Kuzma. That pass stolen by the Cavs.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
Got the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way.
Now a whistle, and Cleveland is going to use a timeout. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. To Clarkson. LeBron James with the block.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Ball. Screen come.
Fires the three, buries it on the catch and shoot.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is a brilliant offensive display. You have ball movement, player movement, and great shooting to top it off. You get those three things going, you're going to be a dynamic offensive unit.
3 quarters down. The 4th quarter coming up. The Cavaliers have the lead. It's Lakers ball as we start the 4th quarter. And I think the best way to describe where they stand right now is they're down, but they're not out.
It's a game we used to play in the league all the time. It's called a series of stops. That means get 3 stops in a row. Each game is a game within the game. You get 3 stops in a row, and then another 3 stops in a row, you're right back in this ball game.
It goes down.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Pass stolen by the Cavs.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Look out, Larry Nance Jr.
I mean, defense, is it that easy? Can I see some reaction after somebody gets an easy dunk? Some yelling, some kind of emotion? I need you to get involved back in this ball game.
Cruises inside for 2.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Thompson, deep left corner. LeBron James!
Oh, and he can't keep it in off the block.
Man, that was impressive.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
Trying to cash in. Wide open look, won't go.
Oh, I like that. You got the defense rotating from side to side. They're even recovering late, but still you got to make that one.
Larry Nance Jr. Tips it.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
And he finishes at the rim.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Ball in possession of Cleveland. Tristan Thompson with the slam.
Ed, did you see what this pass just did? Now it encourages his teammates to move with more sense of urgency because they understand that next time down the court, they might be on the receiving end of that pass.
Has a look. And he's fouled. Good play by the shooter.
You know what? That's an even better play by the defender. I like the foul there. Send a message. Nothing easy.
He's going to have to earn it now. First try, no good.
Into the game for the Cavaliers, number 12. Stepping in for the Lakers, number 4.
Knocks down the second after missing the first.
Hey, lock up.
Add 2 points to the board.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Look long.
Gets a look. Can't hit.
See, I don't like that shot right there. Pass the ball, get the defense moving, maybe set a hard screen, roll to the rim, see the ball go in a couple of times before you settle for a mid-range jumper that's contested.
And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
first one goes down. And he makes them both. Sexton has a chance. Deep two there, won't go. Cavs at the controls. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. The results, he's going to the line.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Cedi Osman, a couple of free throws on the way. 56% for his career. First free throw is good. No good on the second. It's a 1-of-2 trip to James. Gets to the basket and scores.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
To Colin Sexton. And a putback slam.
And that's what he does. I love players like this. We don't need to draw any plays for you to go out and get yours.
Now pass taken away by Cleveland.
You better get back on D. This thing is not over.
Sexton. Kyle Kuzma pins it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Won't go.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
To Colin Sexton. And now a reach, and that's going to be an intentional foul. Free throws here in the final minute of play.
Timing was just a tad bit off.
And hits the first free throw. Second one off the mark. He goes 1 for 2. That pass stolen by the Cavs.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He's now 4 for 6.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
The Cavs are victorious as they get a good win on the road. That does it. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
Hey, everyone. It's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Cavaliers got themselves a win here today. They did plenty of great things, but we all know what's going to be remembered are the dunks. And you know what? I'm going to remember nothing but the dunks as well. Check out the leading scores for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Lakers just couldn't get within striking distance toward the end of the game. I'm sure they can't help but feel frustrated with the result, but they can't let that feeling linger. Sooner than later, they need to start thinking about the next matchup. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Game track. Bench points.
The Cleveland Cavaliers had the kind of bench production that will make any coach proud. NBA games can be made easier when you're working with depth, and that's exactly what happened here today.
Player of the game.
Tristan Thompson seemed to think he could only score points with dunks in this game. Again and again, he kept throwing them down, and it was just astonishing. Here are the top plays.
Number 2.